Intergalactic piss ants.
That's a little bit rude.
Fresh doing it. Yeah, you know what? It's who fucking cares.
Good point. Fuck you all.
Yeah, fuck it, dude. Fuck everyone. Dude, really? No, really. Fuck people. Like,
is this what happens when you live in Jersey City for 6 months?
Yeah, really, dude. You
become
radicalized into like this, like very nihilistic, just
Antifa.
I mean,
radical
that's
Antifa.
what, yeah, it's like, I guess.
You know, when I was on my way back from the liquor store, I saw like just a pile of bricks out by like, I don't even know if it was a construction site or what. There was like a half of a wall and a pile of bricks just sitting on the ground. I thought this would be perfect for something. I don't know what, but it's there. If anyone wants some bricks in Jersey City,
you saw a pile of bricks.
You just a straight up pile of bricks. Like, you know how you're talking about the riots and stuff.
I mean, there's a lot of construction going on, but like this was
like 40 bricks. Just like anyone could grab a brick, and not that they would want to here, but
we're
it was
so past the George Floyd era that like you're talking a summer ago. Like, why would in what sense, like, if someone entices a riot now, it's going to be like 3 people and they're going to all get arrested.
Yeah, no one. They're not. They were there. I'm just putting it out there for anyone who might be interested. You know, the opportunity awaits you.
I didn't mean to be so rude. You know, I don't want to.
We don't actually. We love you all.
People.
Anyone that might be listening to our incessant stream of thoughts.
Incessant rambling.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. That's
just,
basically what it is.
Yeah, no, consider it like movie dialogue, except in the end, it's just like 2 fucking real losers. Just
if Tarantino wrote his dialogue, but just smoked a lot of pot first and didn't really know what to say or where he was going with it,
like,
it would probably end up something like our conversations.
Yeah, but no, there was an interesting, because you were texting me the other day, and we were having like a short like mini conversation about Alex Jones, and
what about him?
No, but there is like,
he's a character. He's a real fucking.
No,
character.
I know. And have you ever watched Flagrant 2? You know Andrew Schultz?
No, you're losing.
You don't know
me.
the comedian Andrew Schultz? He's been on like Joe Rogan and shit.
No, I'll have to look into him. I'm culturally, my cultural knowledge is very lacking.
So he on that podcast, there's an episode where they get him really fucked up. Like, they get him like fucking, they smoke him up. They get him like a ton of beers. This man is wild. He's like, he takes his shirt off.
That's what I'm gonna like. I'm doing right now.
Yeah. No, he's shirtless. He's
for a different
shirtless.
reason. For a different reason. I'm not that fucked up yet.
No, he's not belligerent.
It's personal. You don't need to tell the people.
Yeah,
I am shirtless though.
Yeah, but I mean, he has like these rambles that have that seem like they have like a semblance. They have something going to them, but like it's not really. You kind of like he kind of like loses you after you talk about like the intergalactic stuff, and
you're talking about Alex Jones?
Yeah,
I thought we were back on this Andrew Schultz guy.
No. I'm just saying. No, in reference to Alex Jones, you know, you took his shirt off and he went fucking wild. But you know, regarding Alex Jones, because like we were saying, like he has some pretty like insightful like thoughts. At least, like the least thing, at the very least, you can say it's interesting to hear what he has to say.
What I find interesting, first and foremost, is how all of the, if you'll notice, the general consensus among the popular left right now is just that they want to censor Alex Jones, cancel Alex Jones, don't let nobody listen to Alex Jones. When, like, he's kind of a twat sometimes, but a lot of the stuff he says, like, is true. And you listen to him talk and you look up some of the shit he says, like, he's not necessarily talking out of his ass all the time.
No, so I think history kind of ended after 2016 when Trump got elected because everyone got Trump derangement syndrome, including...
Is this like a thing that people have thought of, or is this a term you came up with?
No, I've definitely heard of it somewhere.
Trump
before.
Derangement Syndrome?
No, but like it's never been explained in true depth, I think.
All right, guys, we're going to give you the 411.
I didn't coin the term, but like...
What's it called again? Trump, what's it?
Trump TDS. Trump Derangement Syndrome.
Derangement. That's a good word.
Trump Derangement Syndrome.
Yeah, so...
And it's infected both, like, the populist left and, like, you know, characters like Alex Jones, but, like, to the right, where he's, like, now a Trumpist for some reason when he used to rail against George W. Bush. And he used to rail against Israel.
I kind of get it, because... I don't know. I mean, the Israel thing, I have plenty of opinions on that, but I kind of understand where he's coming from, because if you're fed up with the
guys,
mainstream...
just look up the Twitter profile, like, Alex Jones was right. You will be blown away. He's like...
Yeah, it's crazy because, like, you always get skeptical when they just want to cancel him, but they don't really, like, have any reason why or have anything to seriously back it up. And Joe Rogan is the one who said it, but it's true that the only way to counter wrong speech is with right speech. You don't counter wrong speech, incorrect, hate speech, whatever, by just censoring it, because that creates a vacuum. First of all, that's a slippery slope. Second of all, it creates...
I don't think Joe Rogan himself either is like that bright of a character either. He's okay. I mean, I think he's like...
He's well read.
Well read. I don't think he's like... I think he's well intentioned, and I think because like he sponsored like Bernie Sanders like back in 2016, and he very much... I mean, he just has like for every like week of like
I'm rubbing
really
my belly right
smart
now,
people,
just so you can envision that. Just envision a big, kind of chubby Lebanese guy rubbing on his stomach while Greg is talking.
It's very...
Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, no. So for every like 3 smart people he has like 9 retards. I want to say, but there's times where he pushes back, and
I don't know if we can say that. Can we still say that word? Is that retard? Isn't that like not
I'll
PC
say this.
anymore?
I respect him. I don't think he's like particularly intelligent. I think he has like
he's well read.
I think he has people who are on his show who are smart, and like he's just a very, very curious guy, which I respect.
I think he's smarter than like. There are different kinds of intelligence. You know what I mean?
I know. A lot of different people rag on him, and I think like he is a level of intelligence that's like at least brighter than the normal average human being. He's very. The average human being thinks the Trump the election was stolen. So like it's not like it was like.
Is that really the average? Isn't it like 50-50 right now?
It's like 50-50, but like the other half, they also thought the election was stolen.
Wait, what's your take on the people trying to like prosecute the president? Because
what do you mean?
In terms of the whole like, I don't know. I'm gonna be honest. I'm not the most versed on the situation.
Which president?
Trump, the ex-president Trump, the most recent ex-president Trump. Biden, there's a whole other thing.
They try to impeach. Impeachment means nothing.
No. I didn't say impeach. I said prosecute specifically. You hear all the sentiment among the popular left. Like, Trump needs to go to jail. Put him in jail.
To prosecute a president, you can't. You can try. You can.
Well, I mean,
okay, so
yeah, it never would really actually happen.
So
but you hear all this noise about them trying to like, oh, he's done this crime, he's done that crime, he's done. First of all, what politician hasn't? Most people, like almost,
they're all war criminals.
Verifiably, everybody, yeah.
No, they're all criminals.
They are.
Every single president is like basically a criminal.
And I have the proof right here. I'm going to prove it to you all right now. I'm not.
Yeah, no, but to prosecute a president would set such a precedent that you would have to go back and you would have to like arrest all the other past presidents.
Well, it seems like they want to
just Jimmy Carter, right?
It seems like they want to crucify him like that, and that's another reason that I'm skeptical about the whole situation.
Is there any older president older than Jimmy Carter that's still alive?
I don't know. Let's look it up.
The oldest president alive.
We're accepting applications right now for someone to do the computer shit while we talk, and also join in.
Well, like a Jamie.
I didn't want to say that.
So much. I know.
I could have tried to like be a direct like
just
Joe,
like not even not even like. Let's just not even.
No, the thing is,
try to hide anything.
The thing is, Joe Rogan is like the Eminem of podcasts. Anyone who like any white rapper is gonna aspire to be like Eminem. You know what I mean? And anyone who starts a podcast is gonna like look up to Joe Rogan in the way of like, oh, look at this guy, look at how he does his shit, look at how successful he is, kind of way.
It's not even like necessarily like aspiration. It's just like. He did like popularize like that platform.
He's like the guy,
and he did give this like kind of like voice, kind of like.
If Joe Rogan is not the first person you think of when you think of podcasts, then you're probably not a 20-something-year-old male. So I mean that's okay. But no, like, but seriously, he's like he's a very quintessential podcast figure in the podcast industry.
No, there's no one who doesn't know him. It's obvious. But
there's definitely people who listen to podcasts that like don't really give a fuck about him. That's for sure.
Yeah, no, I mean I don't listen to really his show anymore at all. Like I used to.
I just got into like I work a very
He has good old episodes.
Oldest president.
I forgot to look that up.
No, I'm trying to figure this out right now. You'd think this would be an easy question. I think it's Jimmy Carter. I think you were right.
Yeah, because when you try to Google this, you're gonna try to like find like who's like age-wise the oldest.
Which is Jimmy Carter even still alive?
It is actually Donald Trump to become the oldest person. The oldest person.
Jimmy Carter is still.
That's the other thing about presidents is that we're becoming like. These presidents are becoming more and more senile as time goes on. Do you notice?
I think it's a fucking joke right now.
Okay, Obama kind of had it together. Like he like put on a good face, and that's like why everyone was quiet.
Yeah.
During those years.
I mean,
that's why during 2008, like he could like give money to all the banks, and then hush everyone else.
I don't know necessarily how to put it politically, but the thing with Obama being president, that was like the end of an era. That was like the last little bit of the remnants of like the financial prosperity of the 90s and early 2000s flowing over. That Obama in the White House, this is like a completely different thing. The end of Obama in the White House was the end of not just like America as we know it. It's like we're going into a completely different era of the existence of this country and the world in general.
Honestly, American prosperity kind of ended in like the 70s.
No, I know, but I'm saying I'm saying like the 90s boom. Like the whole.
We had a cultural boom. There was no economic boom.
It wasn't a boom in comparison to previous years, but in comparison to right now is a lot more stable.
Yeah, no,
that's what I'm trying to say. Now. Like the last remnants of the good times were then, and with Obama leaving, that was like the last little glimmer of like.
The last.
Not because Obama, but just because, the time he's associated with. What are you looking for? Greg just got up and walked away from his mic, so.
No, because
we're flying always, like, solo at 30,000 feet, folks.
It's always a problem for me. Like, I've read Alan Carr's Easy Way to Quit Smoking like probably twice already. I'm gonna go on my third run.
What do you mean?
Like, for vaping.
You're losing me. I just zoned out.
It's a book, Alan Carr's Easy Way to Quit Smoking.
Oh, you mean like smoking cigarettes? I thought you were talking about pot.
Yeah.
I thought you were talking about pot.
No.
It's like, Craig, you're going to quit smoking pot after what we just talked about? No. I didn't tell you what happened the other night. I didn't really eat very much during the day. I ate like half a burrito bowl all day. I worked all day. I smoked probably like 12 to 15 cigarettes over the course of the day. And then I went out at night and got like absolutely hammered. And the thing, like I can get hammered and I can chain smoke all day, but I can't do both together and like keep from fucking puking my guts up. And it was like
your throat too, just like after so many cigarettes.
It doesn't even bother my throat, honestly. I'll smoke half a pack in a day and then wake up the next morning and go for a run. Now, granted, I'm not fast, but like I can, So
there's something about like a couple, like I can like I'm talking like after like a pack, like after you're smoking like a pack of cigarettes, then you're like, You know, like a little bit. It's like a little bit of a kind of like that feeling.
I guess when you get to like a certain level during the day and you've gotten through a certain amount in a day, it's you feel yourself start that. See, I have an inhaler for that very reason. When I start to like wheeze a little bit, you know, folks, do you know you can get inhalers over the counter and they're for asthma or I guess if you smoke a lot, they could be for that too, which technically is probably
Jesus
still
Christ,
asthma.
what a tip.
It's not an albuterol inhaler. It's an epinephrine inhaler, like what's in an EpiPen, and it's like $30. So, yeah. I mean, you could buy an asthma inhaler on the black market with albuterol in it. It's not that hard. I'll let you know that right now. But if you just want an OTC inhaler, are you looking it up? It's called Primatene.
It was something else.
You're killing me. You're really killing me, you know.
No, I'm listening to you.
But there's that feeling of, when you smoke a certain amount of cigarettes in a day and you're just, like, wheezing a little bit. So anyway, I just got really fucking hammered. Too hammered. Like, too much alcohol on an empty stomach, which would have been fine. But then I smoked that, like, last cigarette, like the 12th cigarette, the 15th cigarette, whichever one it was, on the way out of the bar. And, like, just... I made it. The ride home was fine.
There's something about the alcohol too that makes like the dehydration really.
It's like the combination of alcohol and nicotine and like the wooziness and spatial disorientation and the dizziness that just makes you nauseous. And I made it a 5-minute ride, made it up the stairs, and then I got inside my friend's living room and I was just fucking sweating profusely. And then I'm like, I need to go fucking throw up. So I woke up the next morning, and for the past week, I just haven't really been able to, like, smoke like that. Cigarettes, I mean. So it's been convenient. I haven't really felt like drinking that much either, which is, I guess that's what it does when you get fucking absolutely trash and throw your guts out. It kind of turns you off to the idea of doing it again, doesn't it?
Yeah, no, and then until you, like, go and switch back to sobriety, and you realize how much that sucks, and then you're like, oh, well.
I feel really good. Have you been meditating?
Yeah, I have.
Because I've been, like, meditating a lot and, like, working out a lot.
Look, I don't really do any other drugs besides weed, so, like, I don't, like, really... I'm not really, like, dependent on
I can help you with that, my friend. But, no, like... I went on a real... I'm kidding. I went on a... You don't... I'm a very spiritual person.
Like, I am...
So...
No. I am, too. Like, I'm not... Like, I believe in it.
The main problem I have with AA is the idea of that, like...
Yeah.
You're an addict... You need to stop using all the drugs ever for the rest of your life, or else you can't be a functional member of society. I feel like it creates like two like polar opposites. It's like there's a word I'm thinking of that I can't remember, but it's like it's either you is or you ain't. Is you is or is you ain't. Like
you is or you isn't.
You can't. There have been, to give a counter perspective, there have been multiple successful programs to treat alcoholism, opioid addiction, and other substance problems using like beta blocker drugs in Europe, where they give you these drugs so that you can't physically feel drunk anymore. You can drink the alcohol, it'll just make you feel like a little bit icky. It won't make you feel drunk, and it won't impair you because it turns off the part of your brain that is like receiving the alcohol. Something antagonist or something. So these people take these drugs that prevent them from getting fucked up, and then they get CBT, corrective behavioral therapy. And unlike AA, which there's no actual percentage rates, there's no actual verifiable percentage rates on effectiveness of AA. Like they have their number.
Pretty good right now. I mean,
what's up?
Therapy. ACT.
What's ACT?
Actual, like, it's like more like behavioral, like
less
changing.
Like talking to someone and more like doing shit.
It's more like taking action.
Yeah. So, but if you look at Alcoholics Anonymous and Narcotics Anonymous program, basically like 12-step based recovery programs, the actual long-term success rate is estimated, if I remember correctly, to be something like 12%. Which is fucking shit when you look at the number of like people that actually go through these programs multiple times and come out and they still go back and get fucked up and then sometimes die down the line. And it's just, I think it's a conspiracy in its own way. It's a big for-profit industry. It makes a lot of money, and the lobbyists
getting deep into that.
But meanwhile, in Europe, they have these fucking programs that First of all, they actually have statistics. Unlike AA, where it's like an estimated statistic because they don't actually really know because people flake all the time and never come back and they're the only ones reporting or recording it. These programs in Europe, they actually do the fucking statistics for them and they run the numbers on them because they're real like hospital programs with doctors and their whole like healthcare shit. It's something like 80 or 90% of, I don't remember the exact number, so I'm talking out of my ass a little bit, but it's something like 80 or 90% effective. And in terms of like long-term kicking a substance abuse habit, and a lot of these people go back, not all of them, but some of them get to a point where they're able to like enjoy an occasional drink. You know what I mean? Like, so that's my first point and my biggest problem with Alcoholics Anonymous is like the idea of that, like, once you're an addict for life and there's no way around it. Now,
it's more so like the cultish kind of like triangular like bureaucracy that they have going on.
What do you mean, elaborate?
I mean, it's a whole ladder. They have, I mean, first of all, AA is all over the world. But they have like subsector groups and then subgroups, and then it goes down to like the local level. Like, it's just like a whole organization shit.
Well, yeah, because it's like at a certain level, it's a for-profit industry, and
in the end, it's just like a band-aid to like dystopian post-capitalism. That's really all it is.
And I'm gonna be honest, take it from the perspective of somebody that started and stopped using multiple substances multiple times. I know that sounds really official, right? That sounds like great advice to take.
Take it from a guy.
Take it from a guy.
Does a lot of drugs.
I did a lot of drugs a lot of times.
Did it again.
But it's not productive, in my opinion, take it with a grain of fucking salt, to say I'm powerless, I need to never do this again for the rest of my life and just be miserable. It's like
there's balance in everything.
It's very possible for people with the proper healthcare to achieve a balance where they can enjoy their life fully.
The thing is like, as human beings, and I don't understand, like, I mean, there's no semblance of like self-restraint that's natural that comes to us. Like, there's nothing that like comes to us that's like, oh, I should restrict myself on this. Like, all of us are all hardwired on this. Like,
yeah, because we're basically monkeys.
Let's go.
You know that meme that's like monkey?
Yeah, no,
we're monkey.
Yeah.
We're all monkey.
I mean that. It's pretty simply. I mean, but it's like.
You're welcome.
Some people have a real problem. They really can't control themselves at all. And like, I think there's a degree to which there's people who who can self-restrain more as opposed to others. And there's levels to this shit.
And there's different. I mean, like, you know what I mean? Like, if you do heroin and then you stop using heroin, you probably shouldn't use heroin again. Just, saying. But
yeah, just saying. You probably shouldn't.
Take it from me. I'm the perfect professional.
You probably shouldn't touch heroin again, but you also probably shouldn't do.
I know it's different from person to person, but I think overwhelmingly the majority of people would find that with the proper medical care, which exists in other parts of the world, that they could probably not only end their habit, but come to a full circle understanding of having a more productive relationship with this. Because, like, you have one life in this. I don't know if you can believe in reincarnation or you take it at a spiritual level.
I want to.
I do. Like, I genuinely do.
I don't, but like, I want to.
Well, we can get into this later, but you have one life as this being. You might as well enjoy it to the fullest. And I think people limit themselves when they say, oh, I got this, I spun out with this, I can never do this again. Because everyone starts, like, there are also probably people that should not drink, ever. But I think I think it's, like, paramount that the people have the option to decide. It's not just, like, because the only FDA approved, this is a real crux of the problem, is the only FDA approved addiction treatment in the U.S. is 12-step. So if you're one of the people, the very large majority of people that 12-step doesn't work for, it's like, well, sorry, you're fucked. Which is like a lot of shit with this country. It's just like,
and then
you're fucked. Sorry.
And then the fucking healthcare industrial complex comes in, and they're already ruling all the rehabs, which is already corrupt, which I can send you another like podcast episode on, which is interesting. Like the corruption on like rehab institutions, because there's like no regulations on this shit.
I know.
You can just open up a rehab.
It makes me angry. It like makes me very mad, like viscerally angry that this shit's allowed to continue.
And the problem, like, and
but
I
it's
think
the rule, not the exception in this country.
The reason, like, why I'm like passionate about like that particular and like mental health,
because we do drugs and we're fucked up mentally.
That and like also like I've seen these people and half of them get like trapped in the system, man. They don't come out. They just cycle in and out.
Yo, you want to talk about the problem with the healthcare? Talk about fucking methadone and Suboxone, how they just give people drugs to stop using drugs.
My fucking roommate works in a methadone district.
If you are listening and you currently have an opiate problem, Ibogaine and some forms of like ayahuasca and DMT have shown surprisingly effective like potential for treating that kind of thing. So, just saying, if you have the ability to, maybe go to like South America and do one of those little retreats. Especially Ibogaine. Ibogaine specifically has an effect where I forget exactly what the chemistry is behind it, but it resets the opioid receptors in the brain. So in addition to like
interesting.
Yeah, in addition to the visionary experience of it, it might help you process your addiction on the mental level. It chemically resets the opioid receptors in your brain. It's like people obviously have used it to like quit cigarettes and shit, which is small potatoes compared to fucking heroin and shit. But there are people who just do heroin their whole lives, and then, I mean, not their whole lives, but there are people who do heroin for a while and then take Ibogaine, trip Ibogaine, and then they never feel the desire to do it again. There's some documentaries on it. It's not perfect, but I mean...
What's the documentaries?
Vice did a special on it a while ago where they talked to like some which I'm sure if you just search Ibogaine Vice on the internet, it'd be one of the first things that popped up. They talked to some guy in Europe who... It's always fucking Europe, isn't it? It might have been Boston or something.
It's some fucking... Yeah.
They talked to some guy who like sort of gray market administers this shit to people who need it, and it's not completely legal, but he kind of just like skirts. I mean, it's not illegal at all. It's not legal at all, but he skirts around the law because it's like his calling or whatever. Which, more power to that guy. I hope whatever, he's still around and doing that.
As long as you're helping people, I don't think that you should be like.
I think it's a grave injustice that there's not more research being done into these things. The whole I dare say the whole health paradigm in this country is flawed.
Can I just say the fact that pot is still not illegal, like on a federal level, is like surprising to me.
It's just disgusting.
No, the fact that it's
because of the fucking center states. It's just the bullshit in the heartland. Yeah.
If you talked to me like 20 years ago, I'd have been like, no way. But now it's like we're like probably like 13 states deep. How many is it? Like there's so much.
That's another thing for the Google. Hold on, I'm gonna figure this shit out right quick.
Yeah, that's an easy question to ask. But like fucking like that there was actually a couple bills introduced. I think there was one bill introduced on the House floor for I don't know what the fuck.
All right, this is a pretty out there question. Do you think Joe Biden is like actually real, or do you think he's like a body double? Because he like really seems like he's mentally failing when I see him.
Oh no, I think they inject him with something.
You really think they do? Like fucking Pervitin, like Hitler, cocktail, like meth and shit?
Yeah, no, they stick him in the ass with something.
Molly, they give him MDMA.
Listen.
MDMA, amphetamines,
he was
mushrooms.
Falling apart. He was absolutely falling apart.
Did you see the gift where
and then the debates happened?
Wait,
hold on. The debates happened, and then boom.
Like he's like a cult or something? You know your cult, like the yogurt drinkers, whatever it is?
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about? It's like some fucking like yoga mom. It's like a Japanese yogurt drink. It was like a fad a while. Anyway,
I know the brand name.
Yakult? Sort
of.
It sounds like I'm saying cult, but it's Yakult.
I'm pretty sure it's Yakult.
There was a show at this point almost a decade ago called Suburgatory on ABC. And it was like a stupid sitcom where they made fun of suburban people pretty accurately in some ways. And the like milfy like mom character that was like the main love interest of the main character named her dog Yakult. And she was like a vapid, like very vain
yogurt lover.
What's up?
Yogurt lover?
No, I don't really. I don't. You know what? I don't really know too much about the context. It's just like, I found out about this the other day. I remember watching that show, and then I found out what Yakult was, like the yogurt drink, and like my mind put the two and two together. Oh, that was the name of that dog from that show with the fucking... I don't know what the joke was supposed to be. I don't remember. That was like 2012. It was a long time ago. How many states is...
But how did we get to this? There was something that... There was like a topic before.
We're talking about Joe Biden, and I said, "What do you think they gave him? Like Yakult?" This is what I joke, like. Right. But it's probably actually like meth or something.
No, but he has. No, he has some. There's something that
recreational marijuana is legal in 19 states, Washington D.C. and Guam. It's legal in fucking Guam, folks, but we can't get it over here.
Yeah, and you know what? They have fucking free healthcare too.
Where, Guam?
Yeah.
Wait, I'm gonna move to fucking Guam. How do I apply to move to fucking Guam? Yo, if you need someone to take shitty pictures in Guam, hit me up.
It might only apply to like refugees, but like it's still.
Yeah, that's better than here.
It's better than being a fucking U.S. citizen.
It sounds better than being a U.S. citizen.
God fucking Christ, this country.
But you were talking about the debates with Joe Biden and how he was like...
That it was something... Like, I mean, I was trying to dig back a little bit farther. Because you realize, like, we went from, like, Alex Jones. There was one thing that I did want to bring up.
Yeah.
And I this was a surprise. But, like, I want to ask you, did you watch the Nintendo Direct?
What's up?
The Nintendo Direct yesterday?
No, I heard about... The only thing I've heard about is now they're making a new Mario Brothers movie.
Yeah.
Is that what you're talking about? Yeah, I did hear about this.
Do you know the full cast?
It's like Jack Black, Chris Pratt, some blonde chick that I don't know of.
It's amazing.
It's like a ridiculous, right?
No, we live
the list?
We live in a simulated reality.
I'm not really sure how we got from the Mario movie to simulated reality, but go off.
How do you get this far? Chris Pratt is Mario, dude.
Like, that seems... And that's kind of fucking ridiculous.
And I wanted to bring this up because did you watch the first Mario movie, like the 90s Mario?
That's a completely different thing. They're saying that this is going to be animated and that the people are just voice actors.
I know.
We don't talk about the Mario movie from 98. We don't talk about that. We don't fucking talk about that. Yo, get a picture of the Goomba.
Everybody get the dinosaur.
This is why we need to start filming video too, just for the Mario movie.
Get on the floor. Everybody get the dinosaur. Get on the floor. It was 1993.
Everyone who's listening right now, go search Mario movie Goomba, and just look at that. Look at this shit.
God, this movie was so bad.
It looks like a fucking Godzilla monster. It looks like a Godzilla monster had a love child with one of the shit from Power Rangers.
Do you know the Super Mario Bros. Super Show?
Of course I know the Super Mario Brothers Super Show. Come on. I was a nerd my whole life until come on. I was a nerd my whole life, then I hit one joint and I forever became changed.
I all jokes aside. So we have Charlie Day as Luigi.
Oh yeah, I forgot about it. That's the one I forgot about. That's fucking ridiculous.
What?
No, I mean ridiculous in the good way.
Keegan-Michael Tays Toad, right?
Is that Key from Key and Peele?
Fred Armisen's in this. I think he's Cranky Kong. Seth Rogen as Donkey Kong.
Why do they?
But why? And now, like, I want to know, like, and like when you make
it's
movies
a psyop
like
by the CIA to distract us from what's. It's a psyop.
It is a psyop, isn't it?
Yo,
I was saying that this is the simulation. Now it's trying to mock us. Like now the simulation
has been mocking us. Do you see what's been going on?
No. It feels like the simulation is like trying to.
I have a question for you. Do you remember like being in elementary school or whatever, learning about the Black Plague, and like, do you ever think like, I wonder what it would be like to be alive like during a plague, like during a real pandemic. I wonder what that's like. Now, I'm sure it was a lot more terrifying in the 13th century when, like, you had no fucking clue what was going on and everyone was, like, dying and spitting up black gunk. But we're literally living in the middle of a plague right now. Like, the people that are alive right now
are still not done.
I know. It's a worldwide, it's a pandemic.
We were just talking about it. It's getting worse, too. Like around this city here, like like on the armpit of New York.
I understand.
There's some stores that are requiring masks again.
Well, I think that's
and I'm
stupid.
Not, and again, like I don't want to be the TDS Trump derangement syndrome where it's like either or. Like I don't like. There's a conversation to be had about
my side of
us
it,
locking down again, and then us not like going all the way.
My side of it is, folks, if you don't want to get the fucking COVID, get the fucking vaccine. It's not like I don't really think that it can. I don't know. Yeah, I know people are saying this shit about the RNA vaccines and the different kinds of vaccines, like, but this commonly accepted statistic is what, that like 99.2% of the people with that are dying of COVID don't have the vaccine. That's kind of a shitty statistic.
It's
like very vague. Lines. Actually, now that I'm saying it out loud,
the thing is, if you're vaccinated, you're not gonna like die.
That's the thing. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like the public service announcement out of all this is just get the fucking vaccine. Like make everyone's life easier. It's not gonna modify your soul. And
at this point, guys,
or whatever. Or like put a microchip in you. Do you think people give enough of a shit about this? Is to all the people that like think they're being tracked by the government. Do you think people give enough of a shit about your Cheetos eating lard fucking fat ass to track you with a microchip? No, they've already been doing it for years. You have Social Security, you have social media, you have a driver's license. Congratulations, the government already knows everything they need to know about you, and if they want to figure anything else out, they can. It's not up to fucking you. It's already lost. If you were worried about living in the information state and shit, congratulations. Guess what? We're fucking there. So get the fucking vaccine, because I want to be able to go into the liquor store without being told I need a fucking mask, okay?
Yeah,
and then having to walk an extra block down the street to go to the other liquor store instead of walking. I don't have a problem.
Snowden already, talked about how your cell phone is basically a tracking device for
the cell phones,
whatever service you're using.
People give it up. People put everything on Snapchat and they put everything on Instagram. Like they're just letting everyone know what they're doing.
It's not even that. It's like if there was a tracking device in the vaccine, they wouldn't be denying it to poor people. That doesn't make any sense.
Oh yeah, that's the real kicker though. Is that like all the fucking people, all the people in Congress, all the presidents,
they all got it first.
All the rich,
they all got it first, but there's a tracking device.
That should tell you. That should tell you. So now I guess you could go really far and be like, oh, they get a different vaccine and all this stupid shit. But if you're gonna be that paranoid, we're gonna start selling tinfoil hats, so you should buy one.
Yeah, and I mean, the chances are this thing is, I mean, the more that the data comes out, it is, in fact, like not a biochemical weapon, but probably a biochemical mistake that happened in a...
No, I think it was a weapon.
Why do you think it was a weapon? Because of the Hong Kong protests?
Just because... Bro, anyone who's paying attention, you see what China is willing to do. They don't give a fuck.
Yeah, that's true.
What do you think they were doing, like... experimenting with viruses? What do you think they were fucking doing? They were just gonna like make it and put it in a vault?
Gain of function research. That was like the exposed like kind of like.
Yeah, I don't trust anything that comes from China. I don't trust any of the official line that they give. Their whole thing is like propaganda and bullshit. It's what they've always been good at.
The thing is, like the U.S. is funding it too. It's like we're funding what's called gain of function research.
Elaborate.
Right?
It's cool. Learn me here.
So gain of function research is basically making a virus before it exists in order to like produce a vaccine. Like these vaccines make a shit ton of money. They're making a shit ton of money, and if you make a vaccine, like if you can make it like that and you get the research done prior before it comes out, that's why they're making these viruses that like basically test them. And this and this coronavirus is basically like it was something with the protein and the way that it's able to attach to. It was supposed to be like coronavirus used to only be like an animal virus type thing. Now it's like human. Now it's able to attach to humans because of like some kind of gene protein or some shit like that.
We're not scientists.
I'm not a fucking scientist. This is like what I hear on the fucking channels of
the airwaves,
the deep dark airwaves of
the tube
of whatever deep independent like thought media I could find, because you can't find anything that's
Infowars.
No, I mean, not Infowars. Not Infowars. I'm a fan of Kyle Kulinski. I'll say that.
Who's that?
Secular Talk. Kyle Kulinski.
See, like
he's
like
just a political.
I like. Maybe I'm prejudiced towards China because, like, China's. I have no problem with Chinese people, but China as a country is fucking horrible.
It's just a horrible place. And you know what? That's the government. The government that I don't know if I'm coming off as like heavy-handed, brash, but the way that their party works disgusts me. The way that there's just like the way that their main government has influenced their society, I find just absolutely disgusting.
Israel's a lot worse.
Israel is worse in like different ways. They both have different kind of problems.
Yeah, okay. The only reason you can like kind of like the attention's down on China at least is because they're not bombing the entire world, but like everyone else is. So that's the problem. Like the entire West Bank, I'm not the West Bank of like Israel. I'm talking the West of like hemisphere. Like they're bombing the rest of the world.
You mean Western Hemisphere, not Western.
Yeah, the entire Western Hemisphere is like bombing everyone. So like they're just fuck. Like geez.
China is like it's like they brainwash their people. Don't even get me started on the whole like social point system. I didn't.
That's crazy. I didn't even remember that.
That's what it is. They're turning it into fucking dystopia there. It's horrible.
We need to have a serious talk about this Mario movie.
The Mario movie.
No, we need to like this needs to like actually like have. Like,
I just want to put the point out there.
No, there's a lot of people who are like laughing at this and are like we need. Before we get to, I just want to say we need to have a serious discussion.
I just want to say closing argument. China. I love you. I love the culture, but as far as the government, you guys really fell off the fucking wagon with that shit. You could have done fucking anything. Like, come on, the people in Hong Kong that were like fighting for democracy, the students like shooting bow and arrows at the police. You are the true, the last. I don't know.
The true enemy. I think Israel's the
the Hong Kong people. They're the ones that like they're the last vestige, I guess so to speak, of democracy in that. I feel like those people are like super hardcore, but there's nothing to be done for it.
It is interesting, and I.
But so what I was going to say,
there was one thing that branching off the one thing you said before, like how they're injecting Biden with some shit. Like you brought up like how they were injecting Hitler with meth.
They gave him meth, opiates, and like a bunch of other shit.
So they gave him a drug called Eucadol, which is in America it's basically just OxyContin. Straight up OxyContin.
And Pervitin, which is methamphetamine.
Exactly, and they gave them that in a syringe every morning.
That and like a bunch of like vitamins and minerals, but I think the vitamins and minerals don't really do that much when you're getting meth and oxy. That's a speedball right there.
A speedball every morning.
Speedball every day.
And then his Belgium pharmacy blew up, and then his stash got gone. Oh my god! Imagine how pissed you are.
It's my
like your entire stash is like the pharmacy in Belgium, right? Like your entire stash.
Well, why do you think he blew his fucking brains out?
You're a crack and dope addict, right? Your entire stash is the pharmacy because you're the ruler of a country.
Well, the other thing was he didn't even know.
And then America blows it up. How pissed are you?
Well, he didn't
can't even get your crack and dope.
He didn't even fucking know that. Yeah. He just had a doctor and be like, here. Take this vitamin shot. They called it super vitamins or some shit. They literally called it super vitamin shot. There's like a good History Channel documentary. There's like History Channel or RT. I know that's a very like two.
Yeah, no, I know RT.
One of them made a documentary where they were talking about the Hitler drugs, and it's like they literally would just tell him it's like a vitamin shot, and so. But I do recall reading at some point or another that during the final few days before like. They got stormed, and the war ended there, and like he fucking killed himself. That he was very erratic,
and that it was because Finding Hitler, like documentaries.
Is that one of the ones about like?
It's like a conspiracy about like Hitler's like went missing, didn't actually kill himself.
Yeah, I don't.
Kind of like Jeffrey Epstein.
No, I know. I've heard about it. It's just like. I feel like I don't know.
Jeffrey Epstein.
You think he would have made it?
You think like Alex Jones is just like. I think we should treat this like I think we should ultimately treat him as like kind of like.
Oh, Epstein is definitely a pedophile.
Yeah, no, but Alex Jones kind of like at one point, precursored that with the children eating thing. I'm saying like, I'm not saying when he started talking about Hillary Clinton eating babies. I'm saying there's levels to this. Like he starts talking about there's massive global elites who are who are taking children.
I feel like if Alex Jones
who are kidnapping and taking children to an island. Okay, he was right about that. And then he starts talking about Hillary Clinton eating babies. And then it's like, okay, well, maybe that's a little bit too far. A little bit. Like, maybe that's a little bit out there.
A little bit.
Because maybe we should treat Alex more like, those crane machines where you sometimes you miss it, and then you're like, oh, damn.
I was thinking more of the crane machine where, like, sometimes you get the thing you want, but you get a bunch of bullshit with it, too. Like, one of the ones with the candy in the bottom. Like, I want that Tootsie Roll. I didn't want, like, 8 fucking Dum Dum Pops, too.
I think that should be the public's attitude. I think it.
Well, that's what I was going to say.
I don't think it should be, like, this purely anti-Trump rhetoric. I think it should be like that. I think it should be like, okay. He's got
some right ideas, but he's got his own, like, personal worldview, and some of it's, like, I guess a little bit kooky to the average person. If he really gave a shit about, like, trying to, like, appeal to the masses and, like, really spread this to, like, the average layman, then he might work on his delivery a little bit. But he doesn't. He's just in his own universe of, like, being Alex Jones and, like, you know what I mean?
He's completely lost it, man. You gotta listen to the origin story of Alex Jones.
He's crazy. Wait, an orgy story with him in it?
No, not an orgy story. Origin story.
Origin story.
Like his, like, younger years.
Do you know this?
Like,
I know he exposed the Bohemian Grove.
Like when he got, like, beat up in high school or something. Listen, there's another podcast episode I gotta send you.
Yeah, anyway. You gotta, because I work in the reason I've been listening to Joe Rogan too much too, which I can understand how some people might find Joe Rogan a little bit much.
I like.
He's got some good shit, but it just gets old after a while. It's like every episode is 3 hours of him with, like, another guy who's, like, sometimes questionable. But my job is literally, like, I take pictures all day of clothing on men. Like, I'm doing very repetitive shit, and it's not bad, but it's a lot better when I can just associate and listen to, like, stupid shit. Like, especially, I listen to Tim Dillon a lot. You showed me. I fucking love Tim Dillon. The episode with Joe Rogan, Tim Dillon, and Alex Jones is from, like, a year. That's fucking gold right there. There's so much, and there's so many times that's just, like, Tim or Joe will just fucking burst out laughing. And then I can't help laughing, too, because they're just, like, you look at the video, they're fucking beat red in the fucking face, just, like, gasped.
They don't know what to do half the time.
I know, it's ridiculous.
They're like,
Alex, you're getting on my. I love you, Alex. You're a great guy, but that was my shitty joke.
Please, I would love to be on InfoWars. Give me a day on
InfoWars.
I'll be on InfoWars any day. I don't care how fucking
Alex Jones. If you're listening to this, I love you as an individual.
Did you see that video of, like, the Alex Jones, like, one of his, like crew members, like, getting, like he, like, announced live he's getting arrested by the FBI for the January 6th thing.
Oh, God.
We need to talk about this movie, because I'm talking, like, in a serious, like, not funny way.
What are your
like,
concerns?
Like,
give me an
like,
assessment.
how far away are you willing to drive away from the source material in order to make a movie like something?
Well, we don't know anything what it's going to be yet.
No, but you could. But this is also, like, they do this with everything. Like, they did this with Sonic. Right. They did this with. They do this.
I still didn't even see the Sonic movie.
Yeah, I don't want to.
We should watch that. Yeah, we should watch that. Yeah, get Andre over here. We'll watch the Sonic movie and just fucking smoke a bunch of weed and shit, and then see what happens.
Yeah, no, but they did this with the first movie too. Like, they made them talk, which they don't normally really talk.
Of Mario and Luigi. I mean,
yeah. I mean,
but they've had this going on with the.
But it kind of.
You referenced the Super Mario Brothers Super Show, so the paradigm has been there for a while. Of, like, Mario and Luigi, like, having conversations with each other.
Yeah. I'm just saying, like, it just. But none of it was good. None of it was ever, like, produced, like, any successful momentum. So, like, why try to reproduce that? It seems like a parody in and of itself. That's why I'm saying the simulation is trying to play us. Bowser. Gay Luigi.
Spaghetti. Thank you, whoever posted that video on YouTube. Look, they've been the whole. There's, like, and this is like a
YouTube
thing.
Poops was, like, another era.
Oh, God.
That just, like, ended and it hasn't.
They're all shit now. They've become like ear rape, shitty meme humor.
They're not really good anymore.
But the point I'm trying to make here is that there's always been like this kind of thing where like if you look at Sonic the Hedgehog, he had his video games, and then after he blew up in the video games, how long have we even been doing this for?
Like a while. You want to like end it soon?
Well, you know,
like an hour and a half, like an hour and 15 minutes.
No, this is good. This is a lot of good content, but I feel like we gotta save something for the next time.
I'm just getting tired. Yeah, I'm just getting.
No, I know. We both got.
Don't
shit
you
to
want
do.
to bang some shit?
Shut up. Yeah.
No, I'm gonna edit this.
No, yeah, I do, and I also want to smoke some fucking pot. So, are we still recording?
Yeah.
So the last thing I'm gonna say before we wrap it up is that if anyone's seriously concerned about the Mario movie, there's always been this, like when Sonic the Hedgehog, for example, came out. They started with a video game to sell the Sega Genesis, and then he blew up, and then they made TV show, comic books. He has a whole like lore, and the video game is what it is and what most people associate him with. But
tell me about the Mario and Luigi lore. What is there? Saving the princess?
No, not the lore of like. Okay, so like there's a Mario and Luigi video. What I'm trying to say is what
lore is there?
No, the lore of the TV show is like a separate thing from the video game.
Okay, what comparison are you making?
To every other video game that was popular in the 90s.
Right, okay.
They did this with Sonic. They had a game, then they made comics, then they made a show, and now there's like fucking like all this weird shit. But they did it with Mario.
No, but they had like the humans like coming in and shit like towards around Remember Sonic Adventure Battle?
Which one?
The ones for like GameCube and PS2, Sonic Adventure Battle 2.
That's different.
No, but they had that in the game, so like it was already present in the games before, like you know what I mean.
But it's gonna be. I'm gonna tell you right now what the Mario movie is gonna be. This is a really heated conversation. You're right.
You think this is gonna be bad, or do you think this is gonna be good?
I don't know if it's. I'm not gonna speak to whether it's gonna be bad or good. I think
it's a terrible.
I hate it when people are like star-studded cast because like. That doesn't mean shit.
Am I being too cynical if I'm saying like this movie is going to be garbage? It has an amazing. I'll agree. Like, it has an amazing cast.
I don't think it's that so much that it's star-studded. That's just like personally, I happen to like all the people that
I
are
do
in it.
Too.
You know what I mean?
I do too. I mean, I love the fact that Fred Armisen is like Cranky Kong.
Well,
don't get me wrong. I love that. I love that.
Yeah, no, that's good. What I'm envisioning in my head is like when they did Wreck-It Ralph, and it looked like a 3D video game, but as a movie. I'm envisioning like. It's
probably gonna be that.
Yeah, the aesthetic of like the Mario Brothers on like the Wii, they can just take all those models and put them in an animation engine, and then it's gonna be like.
That's what they're gonna end up doing.
So I don't know anything about like, is the story gonna be good? Is it gonna be a tolerable movie for people who aren't 12 and under? But what I do know is that it's not gonna look like shit. It's gonna be streamlined. It's definitely not gonna be Mario 1998.
No. It'll be more. It'll have a high production budget. I'll tell you that. If Jack Black and like Seth Rogen is in it.
Oh, they wouldn't be on that.
There's a lot of money behind this.
If they're into that, they've read the script. There's a lot of money.
They know they want to. That is true. That is a good point to make. If you trust the judgment of all of these actors, then like.
All of them combined. Maybe not one of them, but all of them together.
Yeah, maybe not like one of them in particular.
I mean, look, like, you want to talk about, like, Charlie Day. He's a fucking real fucking craftsman. Like, he really, like, he's an actor's actor. You know what I mean? Yeah. At least in my opinion. Like, part of the reason I say that is because... Well, that's kind of irrelevant. But, look, the point... I mean,
you can honestly say that about Chris Pratt and Jack Black, too. They're talented people. They are.
No, the thing about... I don't know. Maybe this is just me, like, making an observation that's irrelevant to the facts, and, you know, feel free to the commentate or whatever on whatever platform we put this on, what you think. I think, like, Charlie in real life is such a... Because everyone knows his character that everyone knows, Charlie from It's Always Sunny. He's so far removed from that in real life. He doesn't even like smoke weed or anything. He's just, but then he goes and he plays this absolute wackadoo, and he does it like I don't know if he doesn't smoke weed or not, but he doesn't seem like he does. He goes and plays this absolute wackadoo. It's like, so that just makes me think he comes off to me as a craftsman because he can play these insane roles.
You're a good actor if you're like you play good variety.
Right.
Like, you know Jim Carrey, if you're watching Sunshine of the Spotless Mind?
No, I haven't actually yet.
That's like the one like serious Jim Carrey
that he's
role.
Yeah.
It's like the one movie where he's like actually serious, but he fucking kills it.
That's what I'm saying.
It's like amazing.
Like Charlie Day does the same. I know he was in some serious shit. I know.
Like he was. I mean, I think he was in Queen's Gambit. Was he?
It's just like when you
I
see
haven't seen the
someone,
show yet. I gotta
when you
fucking
see somebody who's that serious in real life, and then they go and play this like fucking completely off the wall character, it just like, so for him to be like, get this movie offer, he's already worth a fuck ton of money, so he's obviously not in it for the money by itself, and look at the script and say like, yeah, I'll do this. It must be at least halfway decent. We're not gonna know for sure though until next year. We're not gonna like
2022, baby.
2022, Mario Brothers 2022.
Mario Brothers 2022 coming to theaters near you. Mama Luigi.
Spaghetti.